Hey guys, GameBall06 here, and I'm back with another video. In this video, I'll be showcasing my first full artwork of Switia Seika. In this video, I'll go over the process of this piece, my thoughts on Naruto's fight against Neji in the Chunin exams, and what I was thinking before, during, and after the creation of Switia Seika. So when I initially created this sketch, I wanted to do something from the back view because it's not a common thing that I do. In fact, I think the Josuke Higashike Tough fan art that I did back during the end of 2022 is the last one that I did. And I also wanted to experiment more with lighting, which in future artworks you guys will see that a lot more, but I wanted to experiment more with it and have like a more rim light and just more dramatic lighting for my drawings. The background doesn't have too much detail because I wanted Switia to be the main focus of this, just like basically every other piece of art that I make. I usually don't have the background as like a major focus. I think the Blushy drawing is probably the one where the background enhances the characters involved. And speaking of that drawing, just to be clear, the 4 characters that are surrounding Luffy aren't actual characters. I just referenced a bunch of the Beast Pirates, which if you guys look at the references all through, I just referenced random Beast Pirates and just created my own, and then Luffy in the center. But back to this one. So the center is where the light is coming from. It's sort of this really big light, and it could be interpreted in many ways. You could interpret it as a real light, or maybe the light is involved with a brighter future, because as I've discussed before, Switia, Pika, Griff, and Chucky are also supposed to be a group of characters for a story that I have in mind. So that it could be symbolic in that way. So it's up to you guys, the viewers, to decide what you think that represents. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not used to drawing characters in the back view. Throughout my new style of creating references and getting used to drawing the back view of characters, it's a key part of the sheet. That way I can draw the character from any angle that I need. I used to only do front, 3/4, and side view. If you refer to any reference sheet I made prior to Charlotte Littlehorn, you'll know what I'm talking about. From Tony Katekyo Mete, Noah Reading, Poseliox, and more. I used a big multiply layer when I finished just doing the shading and the lighting of the character to increase the darkness. This way the rim light stands out more and there's more contrast between the rest of the body and then the light itself. I think my overall composition and coloring skills have definitely upgraded from 2022, and I hope you guys see that, and I hope you guys are looking forward to it improving even further. Throughout my time on Twitter, YouTube, and any other social media in which I discuss anime, especially Naruto in this case, as this section is about Naruto versus Neji, I've seen plenty of people claim that Naruto only went against Neji due to the plot, and I've said multiple times that plot armor as a whole just simply doesn't exist in the Naruto series. It doesn't exist in Dragon Ball, it doesn't exist in My Hero Academia, it doesn't exist in Fairy Tail. I can go on and on and on about the places I don't believe it exists in. And to be clear, I'm gonna provide you guys what I think of when I think of plot armor. I think plot armor is any situation that happens in a show in which the main character or somebody is saved and there is no logical explanation, either using reality or using the reality of the series or just using reality as a whole. There's no logical explanation for how that character could just suddenly be saved other than plot armor. They had to be saved because without them there would be no plot. So with that, I don't believe any plot armor exists in the series, and I massively disagree with the notion that Naruto only won against Neji due to plot armor or due to giving Kurama power. Kurama giving Naruto power, should I say. Yes, Kurama helped, but power alone isn't doing anything. Naruto's the one who has to be able to use said power properly. Besides, it's shown in the series throughout, but back in Shippuden, that Kurama only lent Naruto power during certain moments in the series, when he was angry or when he asked him for power, prior to befriending him, in order to release the seal and or take over his body. So in the long run, it was actually a detriment to Naruto before the 4th Great Ninja War whenever Kurama lent Naruto power, because the more power he lent, the less control Naruto had, which is why he hit uselessness, which I'm glad he did, but he didn't want to. Secondly, Naruto showed his unwillingness to give up plus his own cleverness. He lulled Neji into a sense of security and Neji assumed that Naruto was lost due to him just lying on the ground, but then he popped out of the ground. He used the Shadow Clone Jutsu, which is ironic because the clone jutsu is the thing that caused him to fail the graduation exam 3 times. So he used a different version of it because Naruto gets the clone jutsu and Shadow Clone Jutsu mixed up. The series consistently mixes it up, even though there's 2 different hand signs, and one is known as a Jonin level jutsu, and the other is required to graduate and become a genin in the first place. But let's not go over that. So he popped out of the ground, hit Neji in the jaw, which if you hit the body in certain areas, someone can be knocked out. If you get a good liver shot, for example, the person could be incapacitated and they won't be able to fight. So I've seen some claim that Neji should have been able to see Naruto via his Byakugan, but firstly, there's no proof it can look underground. Even if it did, why would Neji focus his sight there when he has no reason to assume Naruto's going to come out of the ground or travel underground at all, because that's not his general fighting style. For me, the story of the fight itself stands out more than the animation. Not that the animation was bad, it's just that there's a lot more story. Part of that story was just the idea of defying fate. That is what Naruto did by winning this fight, and throughout the series he defied his fate, because he used to be known as a loser, he used to be known as a failure, and this failure was able to beat the genius. And by doing so, he opened Neji's eyes and broke him out of his cage. He taught Neji not to give up, and that is what Naruto stands for, and that's why Hinata was able to do the same against Neji during the preliminary rounds of the Chunin exams. Honestly, this is one of the top 5 fights of Naruto pre-Shippuden / Boruto Naruto Next Generations in my opinion. The only fights I would consider putting above this would be Naruto vs Sasuke at the Final Valley in Naruto, of course, Naruto and Sasuke vs Haku, Neji vs Hinata, and then Gaara vs Lee. So I wanted to go over my thoughts about creating Switia and what sparked this story idea that I came up with, because before Griff, Malik, Chucky, and Pika were to come, the idea was just for Switia. I was just thinking of having a character that wears glasses and is dressed like a secretary / businesswoman. I was likely inspired by a Twitter artist known as Blushy Spicy, because they, since 2 people run this specific account, have a vampire secretary woman who wears glasses. I didn't reference her directly when drawing her, but I likely had her in mind, or she was in some way an inspiration to Switia's creation, even though Switia is a full human, not a vampire, not an alien of any kind. So then I had the idea for the story in my head once I created Switia Seika. It would focus on a group of 4 characters. I'm not going to say any more. And in this group I wanted 2 males and 2 females. I did not want the group to be dominated by guys or girls. So Switia would fill the role of one of the females. Then came Pika, Griff, and Chucky, and I wanted all of them to have different ages. Switia and Griff and Link are going to be 2 of the oldest, or 2 of the oldest characters, and then Pika and Chucky are the younger ones. I'm sure you guys can tell from the drawings that Chucky and Pika are supposed to be under the age of 18, and then Griff, Malik, and Switia are supposed to be over the age of 18. So I had this general idea, and then further refinement as I was making the reference sheet. Unlike with Griff and Malik, I didn't do any potential outfit designs, nor did I experiment with different faces, skin tones, hair, etc. I just started straight into the reference sheet, had this vague idea, and continued on. Until recently, I haven't really done multiple outfit designs, multiple face designs. I haven't really been doing that late until recently, and you guys will see that in the coming weeks. Fan art will be coming back to the channel soon. Next week will be a Pika Moon speed paint, followed by the Chucky reference sheet, and then 2 consecutive fan arts. I won't go into any further detail. Like I said multiple times, Discord is the only place you guys can see my work when I finish it. Otherwise, you'll have to wait to see it on any other platform that I upload, which is Twitter, which is YouTube, which is DeviantArt, and Newgrounds. I used to upload on Pixiv, but I don't do that anymore. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, check out my Twitter and Discord, both are in the description. If you want to know what I'm currently doing or thinking about, those 2 places are the best places to go. I will see you guys next time.